Yeah. The life of Skonie, car enthusiast, the one and only. Hot car hauling, doing house rehabs and concerts with his homies. Also real estate, he gotta invest, come see the vibes. The big homie, life of Skonie, just make sure that you subscribe. Good afternoon, YouTube family. I hope this video finds y'all in good health and great spirits. So, if you read the title of the video, hopefully you here because you want to know why you do not want to purchase a Westgate Resort Timeshare. Now, I've been on many presentations, if you will. This is by far the worst presentation I've ever been on. And so, by you watching this video, you can either avoid, going through the hassle and headache of what I went through, or you can at least know what to expect when you go on, if you decide to take a Westgate tour. Now, here's the thing. First and foremost, most tours are going to be 60 to 90 minutes. Now, that's what they asked of us, 90 minutes of our time, right? And long story long, we were there presentation-wise for about 2.5 hours. Now, granted, we were with a rookie, a new sales rep. He's a young guy. I won't name names because he's a part of the bad experience, but it's not technically not his fault. He was just doing everything by the book to the letter of his training, which I'm not gonna fault him for that. Everything behind him is where the terror and the BS begins and ends, right? So we go on this presentation. We're going through, him explaining. They give you this spiel on what's so great about it, breaking down what a timeshare is, and that's why I said it was terrible having a new sales guy, because again, he's gonna go through the whole gamut of breaking down how a timeshare is and what it is. And it's like I explained to the young man, I own timeshares, so I know you don't have to go through all that. And he's explaining to me how he does, because he's new and they're watching him. So I'm trying to bear with the guy, but like my wife keeps explaining to him, like, hey, you're almost at 90 minutes and we still haven't taken this tour. So we take the tour. Once again, I'm explaining to this guy, like, hey, we're staying on property, and they upgraded us into like the best one bedroom that they had, right? And now, granted, this is what I will say: the property is nice. It was actually the one in the Smoky Mountains, Gatlinburg. It's a nice property. There's not much I can say needs to be improved, right? Because we're staying on property, we didn't need to be shown the units. Now I'm gonna tell you my issue. So he shows us these units, and it's like 3 units in one. It's kind of an upstairs down, like one unit is upstairs, one unit is downstairs, and then there's one even lower than that one. So it's like basement, first floor, second floor. And we see these 3 units, right? Now we go back, because I kept asking, can we just get to the numbers? Like, look, out of courtesy for you, I just want to talk numbers. Like, I'm interested, because again, we stand on property, we like it. Gatlinburg is only a 3-hour drive. And most timeshares, most people's biggest issue is getting to the timeshare or transferring, if you're going to try to swap it out for something different, you get run into the issues, right? And anybody that has any good experience with timeshares or what have you, please leave it in the comment. Like, drop a comment. Tell me what company or resort like you own a timeshare and you don't have problems booking or swapping with like RCI or whatever other company you have, it works. But if you have good experience, I'm definitely interested in. Sorry about the shit. Hearing about your great experience. But back to this guy. So we go back to the table. We start talking numbers. Of course, he can't talk numbers. He don't know nothing about it. So his manager comes over and he starts breaking down stuff. Bottom line, you know, like I said, I just want to hear the numbers. Like I explained, the numbers are going to tell me whether I'm buy or not. You know, you're overselling the property. You're overselling yourself at this point. I just want to talk numbers. So, of course, he comes, he pencils some stuff. I think it was like 48K. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. Then he comes back saying, well, maybe I have some, I think they call it, I can't tell you exactly what they call them, but basically, to my understanding, it's like a repo or an owner that's trying to sell their unit, some of that nature, basically like a pre-owned, which if you really understand timeshares, it makes no sense, but I get what they tried to do. So, and he comes back and he pencils another one. It's a better number, you know, better price, better payment, whatever. But I'm still like, nah, I'm cool. Then he comes back and he does that. Like I sold cars, so I'm already knowing what's gonna happen. There's not much difference in selling timeshares and cars. I mean, sales are sales when it comes to like penciling deals and stuff. So he scribbles down his number and he walks off like, basically, this is my take it or leave it deal. This is the best I can do. All right, cool. So I look at it. Now it's a $7,100 total payment. The down payment was, I think, maybe $900. It's like right under $1,000. But he's like, I'll take $300 down, and the payments will be like $126. But you have, so the down payment's like almost $1,000, or 900 something odd dollars. So he's breaking it down like, all right, give me $300 today, and then the remaining $600 you'll pay in 4 payments, and then we'll start the actual payment of $126. Right now, this is what they can never mention, right? So he's talking payments, and I'm just like, I'm not really even interested. I just wanted to hear the numbers, but since he came with that deal, now I'm just playing their game, like negotiating. I'm still not interested, but when you say $125 a month, I blow that much money every month on other things. So if I can pay for, if that can be for a vacation to Gatlinburg, which we don't mind, again, it's a 3-hour drive, we don't mind going every year. And then, but what he also said was, this is a deal where it's gonna be, we can only go in odd years. So, because it's 2023, we wouldn't be able to go till 2025. So, we'd be paying for it in 2024, but we can't use it in 2024. But he's saying you can get these getaways that you can pay for, which is kind of like, you can take these last minute trips, right? So it'll be like a last minute trip. You know, you're going to New York and you can pay, I think he said, depending on, between $300 some odd dollars and $500 some odd dollars for the 7 days, right? Now, granted, we all know 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be limited availability. But here's a bunch of, like, you gotta ask questions. Which, again, since I really don't want the product, I'm not just jumping down. So I'm just trying to hear it out. So in the negotiation process, my thing was, if I sign this deal, I want it to be every year instead of every other year. Of course, he's like, we can't do that. All right, cool, you know. So it's like, all right, well, we're willing to come to Gatlinburg every other year, and $7,100 is not bad, I guess. Yeah, well, here's the thing. This is supposed to be for life, so it's for life. If you died, it gets paid off. It's got that insurance, like if you die, it gets paid off. And again, you get to will it to your family. So it's always there. So it's like never ending, so they say. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm interested. Now here's what they never mentioned, and this is kind of my fault. I'll take the hit because I know better. But basically, the $7,100 is a loan. But see, what they never mentioned was the word loan, the word interest. You know, which again, this is where I'm taking fault and saying I should know better. But again, they never mention it, so it kind of slips out of my thought process. So I'm thinking, you know, this is because this is how he's explaining it. Like, this is the remainder that you owe. $7,100 minus the little down payment, you know, so it comes up to like $6,000, blah, blah, right? So my thing was, I'm breaking down these payments. 126 is like 4 years worth of payments. So man, pay out in 4 years, and then so I was on the back. Like, I probably pay it off way before then if I buy this, right? So cool. I sign, I buy it. Now here comes these tactics they use, in which like what I noticed, they started to like whenever somebody bought, they announce it and they're like, hey, congratulate such and such family from where are they from? And say where you from, what have you. It seemed like everybody was buying. That's what it kind of seemed like, right? So they're saying everybody's name and all this good stuff. And I was telling the little sales guy, since he was new, you know, I'm used to sales, I'm like, this is one of those little tactics, because I saw this thing was happening when I first started selling cars, when I used to work for Kia. But the people I worked for, the sales guys I worked with, they would use that tactic of announcing and congratulating somebody on their new purchase. They would do that when, kind of like with the situation I just had, where we penciled in a couple deals and I declined, and I kind of said where I wanted, well, I ain't said where I wanted to be, but I just said this is too much, and they kind of penciled a deal. It's like, unless you just piss poor broke, who can't afford $125 a month for a vacation with $300 down? I mean, if the value is really there, right? It's affordable, right? And that's what they selling, the affordableness of it. It's not a great deal, because alright, so I'm interested. So I sign it, right? And now here's where it started getting teed off. So now I gotta go see another unit. Why am I going to see another unit when you showed me a unit? Why? Because the unit they showed me, which is a 3-bedroom, and we bought a 1, which is because it's all we don't need 3-bedroom, right? So he sells me a 1-bedroom, so now I got to see one. This takes another 30-40 minutes. We go see a 1-bedroom, right? All right. Now, when we're done looking at it, now we got to go to financing, right? This is where everything went left, because I'm sitting down with the finance guy. He's from Venezuela or something like that, some country that speaks Spanish-speaking country. He's from Orlando, or he's from Florida, what have you. He used to work at some other place. Now he's working at this place. He's explaining all this to me, and he comes in with who authorized this price, $7,100. He's like, and so me jokingly, I say, why? What's wrong? I'm paying too much? And he's like, no, it's a great price. That's why I want to know who authorized it. So once again, the tactics, with the BS tactics, you know, you gonna play you're getting such a great deal. I might have to fire somebody who authorized that garbage. So nonetheless, I'm good. But then he's showing me the contract that I signed, right? I want you to listen. He's going over everything that I signed in initial, making sure that I understand what I signed in initial. It's a little confusing, but not mad. Then he gets to the point where he's saying that I'm agreeing to 17.99 interest over 10 years at this $126 payment, which would total out at somewhere like $15,000. Now the product is costing $7,100, right? But by the time I'm done paying for it, I'm almost 16 grand. So, man, at this point, I'm beyond pissed off. I'm gonna explain why I'm pissed off. Because at this point, it's 3:30. We've been here since 9:30. Came at 9:30 for a 90-minute presentation. It's now 3:30 for us to get to the point where, first of all, when I sign this contract, there's no percentage on the paper. There's no 10 years on the paper. Basically, we just we talk payment, price, right? Now here's the thing, and again, this happens in the car business all the time. The difference is, how can you alter a contract? I'm gonna say it again. How can you alter a contract after it's been signed? So I say all this to say, of course they're not holding me to it. He's agreeing that, you know, it wasn't on the paper. Because here's the thing. We were looking at a photocopy of the contract, right? So in the photocopy, all the terms that weren't on the paper when I signed it, they're in a lighter shade of, I wouldn't even say black, it's more like gray. It looked like pencil, but it wasn't pencil. It was just a lighter photocopy, because clearly, I don't know if it was blue ink or actually written in with a pencil and then photocopy. Nonetheless, it's not the same, and you can tell it's not the same. And again, he's not holding me to it. Like, if you want to back out, you can back out. It's no problem. But I need to call this guy. Kevin was his name. You need to call Kevin, because he's the one who authorized it, so he has to authorize the refund. I'm like, dude, I'm not worried about no fucking refund, because if I have to, I'll call my bank. I'll just report it as fraud. Because at this point, this is what it is. This is a fraudulent charge. You can't just do stuff like this. I'm like, this is unethical, you know, and it's egregious to do. Like, I was so upset, to say the least, right? So, and like I explained to him, the biggest thing is I can't get my day back. I can't get my time back. And honestly, this is probably the last presentation I ever go on, because just being real, the gift that they was giving us was basically 2 tickets to their water park. It's $24 a piece, $50. So what they did is they ended up giving it to me in cash that I could either put in my pocket or go towards the down payment or whatever, the $300. So they had given me the cash already. So basically, like, he brings in a manager. I explained to her, like, I'm very upset because you're a woman. I don't want to use foul language, and I'm gonna say this as well, because I'm gonna tell you, when I get there, I'll go there. Like, I'll go the F off, and I don't care who's around. I can respect women and children, and it's kind of gonna be up to the parties involved. Because, like I explained to this lady, she was a nice lady. Even the like I said, I think he's Venezuelan or whatever. I explained to him, like, I'm not accusing him of putting it on the paper, her of putting it on the paper. Nonetheless, your company that you all work for and represent. I don't like what's going on. I'm very upset. I don't want to leave this office because y'all got people sitting outside waiting to come in the same office to do the same thing that I'm doing. Now, what I can do is I can make a scene. What I'm talking about making a scene is get loud about what just happened to me, and they'll all be feeling the same way, looking to see what's on their paper and deciding to not do what I'm not doing, right? They understood that. So I explained to her, let me refund the money. She's like, you want to wait for it? So I was like, I don't have to. Because like I said, if it doesn't reflect that it comes off, I'll get it off. I'll get the refund. It's not a problem. But I need 4 tickets. Because originally I was getting 2 free tickets and I was going to buy 2. But then, like I said, as a closing gift, if you will, they were going, like I said, they gave me the 2 that I was originally supposed to get in cash, and then they were going to give me an additional 4 so we could actually go. So yeah, we're still doing the same thing. That was what I'm saying. So we went to the gift center or whatever, and the lady was explaining to the lady that brought me in that, oh, he's been gifted the gifts, but in cash, which was $50, which was in my pocket, which, like I said, you're gonna give me 4 tickets. I'm not, like, you need to give me more than that, but we're just gonna get these 4 in part ways. So the lady, she just wrote me a certificate or whatever for the 4 tickets, and we took my kids to the water park for the last 3 hours of the day. Right? We had another night stay. We were supposed to leave in the morning. The next morning, we left that night. So again, now, as far as the resort, if you're looking for a nice place to be, it's a nice place to be. The units are clean, they're updated, they look good. Pool's nice, the water park's nice. They claim to be the largest water park in the South. It's great for the kids. It's nice, right? But if you're gonna go on a presentation, just buyer beware. Just buyer beware. And again, it's people that's gonna watch this video, and you'll still make the silly mistake just because you think you can afford it or whatever, and it sounds like a great deal. It was a terrible deal. At the end of the day, it's all a scam, if you will. Everything they promise you. I mean, Google it. Just Google Westgate Resort scam, and take it from people that actually bought. I didn't buy. I dodged the bullet. So don't listen to me. Don't take my advice for it. Take the advice of people that actually bought. They're there. Search it on YouTube. I'm not the only person giving you this information. Westgate is a terrible, terrible purchase unless you're wealthy. I say that if you're wealthy, it'll make sense because, if you can pay the $7,100 cash. Now, what they tried to tell me was that, you can go and get your own financing because we don't, that's our price for in-house financing. Again, you're right, I could have done that. And maybe I actually would have done that had we talked that this is what you were going to do. But for you to just put this stuff in as if I agreed to it and I had not agreed to it, nah, man, I'm not going for that. None whatsoever. Like, that's bad business. Bad business. And I'm telling you, in hindsight, if I had kept my hands on that paperwork, but again, I was so upset I didn't want to, just wanted to leave. But if I'd have had my hands on that paperwork, and knowing me, I would have recorded the conversations, and I'd have had all that on here for all to see. You practices, and they just trying to get people to sign up, take your money. You do a deep dive on it, you'll see they oversell these units, because what they're selling, they're not selling property, they're selling time in a property. They constantly building new property, so you gotta ask yourself, if you promise too many people a week, and all they can sell majority is like the affordable units are the 1 bedroom, right, or the studios. I don't even know if they sell the studios, but nonetheless, like if they sell, the best seller is the 1 bedroom or the studio because it's the least expensive, right? Alright, well, there's only so many weeks in a year, and there's only so many units that they have. Okay, here's another thing. So the unit that I purchased, right, the only time that it seemed available was, okay, well, how they broke it down, I think January, all 4 weeks in January, a week or 2 in February, and then 3 weeks of March, right, of every year. These are the only weeks that you can, like, book in advance. You follow me? Like, you can only book a couple weeks in advance. And the way it worked out is every other month, or should I say the other weeks, all this year. So you have this long sheet of paper with every week of the year, right? And there's only a few weeks at the top in yellow, which means you can book in advance. I forget. I won't even say it's 12 months. I dare say it's 12 months in advance. I could be right, but it could be less than 12. But nonetheless, these are the only weeks that you can book out more than a month, because every other week you can only book those weeks 30 days in advance. So to be clear, if you want to go somewhere in June, you got to book it in May. You got to wait all the way till May to try to book it. Now, let's be honest, how available is something going to be 30 days out when we talking about the summer or what have you? So it's like, that in itself is a pre-existing excuse, so to speak. Bottom line, so when you go to book and they're like, well, it's not available, if you start complaining like, hey, nothing's ever available, they'll be like, well, that's because you booked the value, and the value, limits the booking time. But see, you get those January. Now, granted, I looked at it and it had my birthday, which is in March, and I was like, well, that's the reason I bought it. I said, well, if we can book, I think it was 12 months in advance in March, which is my birthday, we can always book spring break, and we'll just make it a spring break every other year for this $7,100. But again, it's not $7,100 because I'm paying double, paying $15,000, $16,000, or whatever it came out to. And it's just like, nah, that's not what I want to pay. I gotta explain that I don't buy stuff from Rent-A-Center. Like who does that? We know who does. People that just buy things off payments. Price determines payments. So that was my thing, and that's my take on Westgate Resorts. Buyer beware. I'm not telling people don't buy it. Again, and like I said, you can get some good stays. We paid $100 for 3 nights at a great resort with a free admission to the water park. So that in itself was a cool deal. Having to spend my entire day on that presentation was not. And then again, the terrible purchase practice, sales tactics that they used, that made it a terrible experience. And I would not recommend anyone to purchase one of their timeshares. But I mean, to each his own. Maybe you presentation, and like I said, I have no doubt that you'll like the property. The property was decent. The prices, I don't know, maybe you can negotiate a better deal. Like I said, it'd have been an awesome deal if it was the whole price. I mean, whole, as they call it. It's gonna get every year for the 7,100, and then you have that disposable cash. Maybe it makes sense with all these changes that you may be able to get. Everyone doesn't always have a bad experience, so that's just the truth of the matter. Mine was terrible, and again, I wouldn't recommend anybody else buying from Westgate. But again, if you want to sit through a long presentation and you think you can find some value in it and you can afford it, but I'll tell you this: there was another guy, and him and his, like I said, a lot of people bought. And as I was coming back to see if my family was still there, which they had left and went back to the room, I was asking him, did he buy it? He's like, yeah. His actual response was, hell yeah. So I go, and I actually asked, what did he buy, right? Now my next question would have been how much he paid for, but my first question was, what did he buy? And his sales guy was still standing there, and he goes, oh, no. Let me tell you something. Anytime two people are discussing the same thing, and the salesman don't want y'all to discuss what you bought, how much you paid for it, and all that, that's the biggest red flag in the universe. Because here's the thing, we all know, if you're buying a Dodge Charger, your Charger gonna cost you the same as me, unless I just know how to negotiate better, right? And then to be able to negotiate better, you gotta have negotiating power, and most people understand that. Because again, if I've got an 800 credit score, and I've got the negotiating power to buy the same car you just bought, and if we actually get to the point where we start talking about how much I'm paying because I decided to take payments instead of paying cash with an 800 credit score, and I get 2% or even 0% interest, and I tell you my payment, and then you tell me your payment. Like I said, if we even discuss payments, which most people don't discuss payment, we'll say what price we pay, right? And typically, I mean, you're gonna pay sticker, like I said, if you're a bull and you know how to negotiate, I know how to negotiate pretty well, and in certain situations I can get under sticker. I mean, in the past, maybe not in this current market, because the car market is different, but I mean, I did just buy a vehicle sticker, so it's possible. But again, just being able to negotiate. Most people just gonna talk price, but for you not to want to discuss price, it's a big red flag. And the guy, he actually listened to the sales guy and just like, oh yeah, I ain't gonna talk about it. Like this Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club, we don't talk about Fight Club. So it's like, I'm just like, and then again, the question was, what did you buy? So if you can't even tell, they don't even want you to tell. I know he didn't hear it, but the guy actually like rethought the question. The gentleman, the other guy that bought, he reiterated and was like, man, you asked. He was telling another sales guy came over. I guess maybe it was one of the managers, whatever they was working, helped work the deal. But he was telling that guy like, yeah, he only asked, what did I buy? And he didn't want me to say nothing. I didn't say anything. Like, I held it down. And I'm just like, yo, I'm not gonna get involved in it. It's not my place. Honestly, I wasn't even going to begin with. I was just really being nosy. I wanted to see, once did he buy? And he said yes. And once he said he did, I was just asking what I wasn't about to try to blow up the spot like, dude, you should go get your money back or this and that. Like, at this point, if you thought it was a good deal, you thought it was a good deal. Let's just leave it at that. Man, I'm gonna end this video here. Like I said, if you want to deal with Westgate, buyer beware. It's totally your call. It's your life, your money. Do what you like. Beware. Check the paperwork. Be aware of the tactics that I just explained. And I mean, as long as you buying what you want, you love it. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna pass, and I'm gonna pass on most timeshares in the future. We're just planning our vacation, man. It's a lot of good deals out there. And you can get good deals just by being diligent on, you know, getting ahead of the curve, getting out there looking, finding what you're looking for. So I appreciate you for watching this video. If you made it this far, and I appreciate it. If you can, give a thumbs up for the algorithm. If you like this video, if you didn't, feel free to leave a thumbs down. I mean, if you got any insight, drop me a message. I do read all comments. If you got any questions, ideas for content, etc., feel free to drop a comment. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Like right now. I mean, for more good content like this, don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, and as I always say, man, if you're not living, the only thing not living is dead. And if you're watching this, you're definitely not dead. So if you're gonna be living, you might as well live the best. Like, life is definitely about living, and I'm enjoying mine. I hope you're enjoying yours. And I drop videos like this so you can continue to enjoy yours and not waste a lot of time, man. Because please, if you ever been thinking about going on a presentation but not wanting to, been apprehensive, and again, like I said, this is not me saying don't go on presentations, and this is not me saying definitely don't buy. Just take everything into consideration before you purchase. Make sure you look over the contract, make sure you understand everything with it before you sign it, if you're gonna sign it, if you're gonna take the deal. Other than that, man, rock out. And like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Until next time, man, nobody told you. I love you. I love you for being here. I love you for rocking with me, and I rock with y'all. And until next time, peace.